welcome to LiVeD, Heaven's live video devotional. You may be wondering where's my normal blue screen, but it's not needed tonight, because tonight we're going outside. Come on out with me, and let me kick some flavor in your ear.
So I told you that we were coming outside, and I stayed true to my word. I'm glad you came out with me, got your chairs, got your beach towels, and everything, and let's kick it with the word in the street. And that's coming from Proverbs chapter 13, okay, verse 23. Yeah, get your Bibles. Don't be outside, but you can still get your words. So that's Proverbs chapter 13, verse 23, and it reads, "A poor man's field may produce abundant food, but injustice sweeps it away." Cool. And so I came outside because a few weeks ago, I visited my brother in St. Louis. He bought a house, and it's nice, but he has a lot of land in the front. He has a front yard. He has a side yard. And then he has about a half acre of land behind the house. Now, if you're from where I'm from, the city, this may mean nothing to you. But if you're out there, you know that you got grass. You got a lawn that you got to take care of. And since no one lived there for a while, this grass was it was pretty sad. Normally you see green, but in front of this house you see brown and dirt and things. And so I learned a few things. I went there for vacation, and I ended up doing a bit of work. But I was glad because I learned a few things in the process. So let me take you there as we learn a little bit about spiritual growth in the grass. And so you have grass. You know grass, it's usually green. But then you have something that's like this, kind of tan or brown. It's dead grass. And this dead grass, if it's not cleaned up, if it's not raked, can form a thick blanket, form a layer on top of the grass that doesn't allow it to grow properly. And so you have to go in and rake this grass, and you have to do a process that's called de-thatching, because you take off the thatch from the ground. And when you do that, you allow the grass to be able to breathe. I mean, you can't grow if there's something on top of you, or if there's something holding you down from getting where you have to be. And so this grass, likewise, can't grow if it has thatch holding it down.
So this is thatch. Thatch is made up of dead grass and weeds and leaves, and when it's not cleaned up properly, it forms a blanket on top of the grass, and it's never removed, and so it gets thick, and it starts to mat the grass down, and this prevents the grass from growing. It prevents the grass from being able to breathe and from water being able to get down into the ground. And so if you get no water and you get no oxygen, you can't breathe. And so thatch is really detrimental to the health of true green grass. And so we have to come in with a rake and rake up the thatch. I mean, pull it from the roots of the grass and pull it apart into these different piles so that we can remove the thatch from the ground. And when we do this, we give the grass a chance to breathe. We allow it to grow properly the way that it should. And so I just want to show you a sample of what the grass looked like before we actually went in to dethatch. You can see it's tan, it's brown, and there's no true green color coming out at all. But after we raked, here we have it. It's green. It's full of life, and it's because we have removed the thatch from the ground. And this thatch harnesses a lot of different things, bugs and animals that come through, and it chews up the root of the grass from growing. And this is a little sample, just so you know that your boy was actually out there working. Here I am, and a simple process that we just, had to rake up the thatch and these leaves and dead grass and things, and, assemble it into these piles, and then put it into really huge bags that we got from Home Depot. And so, I'm going to tell you right now, I went for vacation, and it turned out to be some serious work. And, it was a job well done, in my opinion. Until you look at it in the big picture, you see that there are a lot more piles than we thought of. And these piles turned out to fill up 25 bags. And each bag weighed at least about 15 pounds. And so if you do the math, you can see the amount of weight in pounds of thatch that was on top of this grass, preventing it from growing properly. And so the spiritual message tonight is, if you have thatch in your life, you have this dead grass that's on top of you and preventing you from growing, then simply ask Jesus Christ to come in with his rake and rake up this thatch removed from your life so that you can grow properly. You can have that oxygen. You can have that water necessary for you to grow in Christ. This is only part 1 of growing spiritually in Christ and grass. So join me again tonight for part 2. Have a good night, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 10 p.m.